y'all, welcome back to my channel. We have a really special treat for you guys today. We're back in the kitchen with my mom and we're gonna learn how to make her seafood gumbo. She usually only cooks this for holidays and special occasions, but I talked her into cooking it with me today so we could learn how to make it. It's not your traditional Cajun kind of Creole Louisiana style gumbo. It's my Aunt Becky's recipe, actually, my mom's twin sister. We just kind of put crab and shrimp in it. You could put sausage and chicken in it if you wanted to, but we don't like a lot of spicy food in our family, so it's not really a spicy gumbo, but it is absolutely delicious, and she's going to teach us how to make it today. But for us, every time we make seafood gumbo and we have seafood, we always start with a trip to Joe Patty Seafood in Pensacola. So we're going to show you guys what we get when we go there, and then we're going to jump right into the tutorial. Okay, so tell us every single thing we need to make your seafood gumbo.
Okay, I usually buy a bag of okra, frozen okra sliced, because a lot of times we like a lot of okra in ours. Buy the vegetable for gumbo bags. Next would be bay leaves. You need 3 bay leaves. You will need 2 to 3 pounds of shrimp deveined. I usually slice my shrimp in half. 2 containers of crab meat. You will need 6 to 12 fresh blue crabs. These, you see that the body has already been cleaned. I use 1 bag of crab boil in mine. I always like the bag better than I like the liquid because of the taste. 1 can, which about 6 ounce tomato paste. You need 2 medium cans of tomato sauce, which is about a 15 ounce size can. The ingredients for the roux that I make, I don't measure mine out. I just put it in there, but I would say you use about a 1/2 cup to a cup of cooking oil and a 1/2 to a 1/2 cup of self-rising flour.
Okay, really quickly, before we start recording, I just wanted to show you guys my mom's little gumbo pot that she always cooks gumbo in, and it's got a little crab on it, and this is what she always makes her gumbo in, and she's had this pot forever, but I always think it's so cute because it has a little crab dancing on it. Okay, so we have our big pot on the stove on medium-high heat, and we've already added 1 bag of the frozen vegetables for gumbo, 1 container of the crab meat, and 1 can of the tomato sauce. And we're letting everything heat up. And now Mom's getting the rest of the stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add the 2nd can of tomato sauce into the boiler. The next thing we're gonna add is the 1 can of tomato paste. The next thing we're going to do is add the 2nd tub of crab meat. And break that chunk of meat up so it'll cook right. Alright, then the next thing we're going to do is add the 2nd bag of the vegetable gumbo. And like we had said earlier in the ingredients, that you would need an extra bag of okra. But we have plenty of okra in these 2 bags, so we're not going to be adding any more okra at this time. But that will, again, be to your taste on the okra. And then I'm going to add, this time, the 3 bay leaves. And then next I will be adding is the shrimp that we had deveined and peeled and cut in half.
And we took the tails off.
Yes. And we're going to stir that into the pot. Now we're going to add the crab bodies, and if you notice that I took the crab bodies and cleaned the legs off of them and washed them and cut them in half. And then your crab claws, you just break those off. We wash those and we will be putting those in. Okay? We need to add water to the... Go ahead and put the crab boil in. The bag of crab boil, and stir that in there. Turn it up on high now and let it start cooking, but you keep stirring it so it won't stick. And we'll be back.
Okay, so our gumbo has been simmering for about 38 minutes. You want to let it simmer for at least 35 minutes, and you want to make sure that you're stirring it pretty frequently so it doesn't stick. After the 35-minute mark, that's when you're going to want to start tasting it to make sure that it's seasoned to your liking. It's got just enough spice in it for us with those seasoning bags. So Mom's going to go ahead and take them out, and she's going to tell you why.
The reason I go ahead and take it out now before I start my roux is that if you forget and you start pouring the roux in there, it's going to bust that bag, and then you're going to have the seed from the bags all into your gumbo. So you don't want that to happen. So I always take it out before I start my roux.
Okay, and we did end up putting another bag of crab boil in there just to speed up the process a little bit. We usually only add one, but being that we wanted to try and season it a little bit faster just for the sake of the tutorial, we went ahead and put in another seasoning bag just to get it to season a little quicker. So now Mom is getting ready and she's going to show us how to make the roux for the gumbo. So she's going to start probably on a high heat and get her oil heated up, and then once she adds in her flour, she'll turn it down a little bit just to make sure it doesn't burn. So she's adding in a half a cup of corn oil. She's going to add a half a cup of flour once her oil heats up. She's going to show you how to check to make sure your oil is ready.
All you have to do is take a little peek, and you see when you put it in, it's bubbling. So then that's when you know it's ready. So then I just start, I'll put my a half a cup of flour in, and you just keep it stirred. And you be sure that as you're stirring that you mash those big pods of flour, so that way there won't be no lumps inside of it. And right here I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so it won't cook so fast. And what I'm going to do is stir it until it turns brown.
But you want to cook it till it gets a good brown color so you don't have raw flour. Because you want to cook that raw taste out of it.
Now you want it to turn a little dark, because if you don't, when you put it in, it lightens up a little bit once you start putting it in your pan. So you want to make sure that you do let it get a little darker before, not burnt, but dark. It's getting about ready to put in the pan. Let it just get a little bit darker.
Zoom in a little bit.
But make sure you keep it stirring, because if you don't, it's going to burn on you. Okay, I think it's getting about ready to pour into the mixture, so I'm going to turn off my eye.
Mom's going to usually get someone to help her do this part. She's going to pour the roux in, and I'm going to stir it, because you want to stir it constantly to make sure there's no lumps. So she's going to pour it in a little bit at a time. Now I'm going to stir it.
Be really careful because it splatters.
Okay, so you're just gonna let that cook for a little, simmer for about 5 minutes, and it's ready to serve.
Just thicken up.
Just thicken it up and put it on the table to be served. Now, one thing that I would like to mention at this point, there's a lot of people that doesn't like crab. So a crab is big enough that you can take the crab and the crab legs out, but they are really good to eat too. So, but that's the reason why we leave them big, so that way the people that don't want to eat these they can take them out and put them to the side.
Alright, so this is what it looks like when it's all done. We serve ours over white rice. My mom just makes minute rice. She usually does a half a cup of rice per person. So now we're going to taste it. Just give it a little mix.
It's really good.
Really good. It's hot, but it's so good.
Now tomorrow this will even be better.
Yes, it's even better the next day. And if you can see, we put we put a lot of shrimp in there. We actually did 3 pounds of shrimp this time, but you have shrimp going through the whole thing. Every bite just about has shrimp in it. You can see it has plenty of crab meat in it, but it's so good. We usually only cook this for special occasions. I always ask for this for my birthday and special occasions like that, Christmas. This is a Christmas tradition for us. But it's delicious. We really hope that you like it, and we hope you enjoyed our tutorial. So make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you next time.